Hey, Shalom. All praise unto Yahweh Shemi Ashai Bashim Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of great millstone and honor you brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity for the four corners of the earth. So this is gonna be a nice quick video. Hopefully, I'm gonna do this quick topic, and pretty much this topic it may have been covered before in the past by other brothers. But this is to do with Esau's God complex, all right? So pretty much the man Esau, all right, he sees himself as the Most High, and he likes to control things that happen within the earth, all right? And one of the things that a person or a God, rather more, does is to show you that they are a God, is to predict and control the future, okay? Just like how the Most High, he controls the future, and therefore you fear the Heavenly Father because he controls the future. And not only that, in order for him to show you that he controls the future, hence prophecy, he has it to where, he has his prophets out there, and the prophets teach you and speak to you concerning the future happenings, as it were. Okay, so in sort of a way, Esau's thought it to himself to do the same thing. Okay, he wants particular things to happen within the earth, and not through his own power. Really, this is through the power of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemi Ashai, that he's given unto Esau. All right, he has it to where he wants particular things to happen within the earth, and he uses the media as a means of predicting, not predicting, but rather more self-fulfilling whatever agenda that they want to fulfill within a certain amount of time. And what I mean by that is, if they want to do something within the world, because he has a God complex, he pretty much pushes it out there within the movies and within the TV programs before it happens. And then when it happens, okay, they feel good about themselves in fulfilling that particular dream or goal or whatever. Not understanding it's within the Heavenly Father's power that he's been able to do these things. Okay, it's the Heavenly Father's will that he's been able to do these things, and that's the power of the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father is so powerful that he'll have you believe within yourself that you are a God, and he'll make you prove things to yourself that you are a God, and then he'll take away the power from you, and then the illusion of control will be removed from you, and then soon you realize that you are not a God, but you're a man subject unto the will of the Heavenly Father. But this video pretty much here is about Esau's God complex, and I'm gonna show you a few examples where things were done within the media, or scenarios were put forth within the mainstream media, whether it be TV or the movies, and in the course of time they basically fulfilled that by the hand of the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father really controls all of them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right. And then obviously I'm going to show you some scriptures dealing with some of the things that have been put out there within the media. And this is why the apostles, Vocab Malone made that observation. That's a great millstone. We watch the movies and that, and we extrapolate particular information from those movies, and we can see what's going to happen within the future, because we understand Esau has a God complex. He wants to self-fulfill particular prophecies that he's made about himself, and these are going to be very interesting of prophecies, because they tie up with the scriptures, man. He puts a particular movie out there about the chip, and people, they bug out when you say there's going to be a chip out here, and then within course of time, okay, within the course of time, guess what? After putting it within the movies and after we've read the scriptures, the thing is out there, and you have a cashless society. But we're going to touch on that a little bit later on and go through the relevant scriptures. And I might quote them, I might read them, but we're going to go through the relevant scriptures to tie the whole thing in a nice knot as with regards to the scriptures. So this is the 25 times TV shows predicted the future with perfect accuracy, okay? And that's the interesting thing. And you got to remember too, Esau draws power from the left-hand side. They can have it to where it happens, immaculately, man. Okay, because this is all dealing with spirits, man. Okay, we're dealing with energies and spirits when we're dealing with this thing. This ain't a thing of low level. People think they're making their own decisions and they're just doing whatever they want to do. But the reality of the situation is they spirits and that control people's will, man. Okay, because those spirits come from the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, so the Most High could have it to where a guy comes into this truth, last a long time on fire and fall out, and vice versa. You can have it to where there's a bum on the street coming to this world, a gangbanger, okay, any type of person, man, okay, because it's the Heavenly Father's will. Therefore, it's not for any man to be proud or anything, all right, because it's through the power of the Heavenly Father. So it says here, I'm just gonna go through it, relatively fast. But obviously, you can see the first one that's dealing with Trump being put within office. And when you go to the Simpsons thing, they do a whole topic within itself, man. And they had they got all kind of things that they so-called self-fulfilled within the Simpsons, and they push out there, and they've accomplished it. So number one, they talk about the moon landing. We know that didn't happen, so we can ignore that. The Simpsons predicts President Donald Trump as president. We should know about that, and I believe the scene was set perfectly when they did it within the real world, and they matched it up right to the cartoon, man. Even with the bystanders, I believe it was. Okay, continuing, it says Parks and Creation predicts the Cubs World wins series win. I don't know too much about that. Right, so Max Headroom predicts internet advertising, and 4chan. I don't know what 4chan is. But these ones ain't too crazy. This one is all right. A $6 million man predicts bionic limbs, but that's not super accurate or anything like that. Okay, the Thunder Brothers predicts Skype. That's a decent one. Friends predicts Facebook. Okay, going to show you, like brother said, that Facebook thing is a CIA operation, man. You want to be off of it. Laugh in predicts the fall of the Berlin Wall. That's a good one. Black Mirrors predicts autonomous drone insects. All right, which you got it to where they're creating them things now, man. Okay, you could be in your house and you thinking that's a fly or whatever, flying around your house, but it could be a particular drone that they got the nanotechnology now. There's something that's called nanorobotics that they pushed out there. Okay, that they've invented and they've perfected. Okay, nanorobotics. Okay. With a small power source, okay, a small means of moving around. What they're gonna do is just stick a camera up in there, and they can watch your whole shit. But they don't even have to do that, because people bring their own surveillance devices into their houses with these phones and these smart TVs and so on and so forth. So they even really have to go through that whole thing of autonomous drone insects. But that was predicted out there on so-called predicted. Remember, like I said, Esau likes to self-fulfill prophecy. He'll do a particular thing and show you it in a movie, all right, but then he'll do that in real life, okay, after a certain amount of dispensation of time, because the elites tell these movie directors what they want in the future, and then they tell the scientists to develop those particular things. Okay, Arrested Development predicts the U.S.-Mexico border wall. Jetson predicts flat screen TVs. All right. Quantum Leap predicts Super Bowl Triple X. I don't know too much about the Super Bowl. Spooks predicting, like I said, these are good ones. This is like a good one here. Number 13, Spooks predicts the London subway bombings. That's a good one. What else? Breaking Bad predicted a chemistry teacher making drugs. I don't know about that. But again, some of these so-called teachers and individuals out here, they're sleeper cells. Okay, they're individuals that are they're individuals that have been infiltrated, so to speak. And you got some people out here that are just, and they showed, I seen that on a TV program, The Titans, and they had this family that was sitting around the table, and they got the phone call, and they they got they reverted back to their training, man. Because they was under them instructions, and there's people out here that are under instructions. The guy that lives next door to you, okay, Esau could have set that individual up to where when he gets the phone call, he's coming up against you, man. Ain't that some shit? You walking around saying hello to this motherfucker, but this guy is what? He's an agent, and Esau does that. Scrubs predicts the whereabouts of Osama bin Laden. I don't know about that. Family Guy predicts the death of Antonin Scalia. Again, I don't know too much about that. Scandal predicts the Edward Snowden saga. That's a good one. Don't know about that. That's not, some of these are kind of BS. Right? The Lone Gunman predicts 9/11. All right, and that's a good one. There was a lot of movies that predicted 9/11. Okay, So they was working on that thing for a long time. What else? Is there any other good one here? Okay, so that's pretty much the the Simpsons predicts horse meat. That's a big thing now. They either feeding you horse meat or some bugged out meat, or they're trying to get you on this vegan diet, man. Okay, so let's go to some other ones, some more of them that are more specific to the topics of the scriptures. So I got one here, the coronavirus. They predicted that in these movies, like Contagion and I forget the one with was it World War Z with what's this guy now? I forget this guy, man. He was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I forget the name, the guy's name. But these viruses that you have out there, now now people are looking at the movies and saying, well, hold on a minute, there's a lot of similarities between the movies that we've seen and and what's happening out there. And again, building up the picture to to the point of proving these scriptures and proving Esau's got a God complex and so on and so forth. The cashless society. Okay, that's the next step. Okay, the next step is the cashless society. Okay, and have we had movies that have predicted these things? Basically, what I showed you there, that should have been what? That should have been evidence, corroborating evidence to prove that what? They're gonna bring a chip about here, because the chip ain't out here like that. People got it, but it ain't out here being forced upon people like that. But guess what? Through the movies that we've seen, okay, all right, and how they predictively program these people, and they've done particular things within these movies that they fulfilled. We know that the cashless society thing is a thing that they push in almost every futuristic movie. Is always cashless, man, and they got the chip within their arms, right? They've always got that, and there's no niggas. You don't see niggas out there when you're watching Blade Runner 2020. I haven't watched the new one, but when the old one was Harrison Ford, there weren't no niggas around. And that's what they call their utopia, man. And it's a cashless society. Everybody's got the chip, all right? And the evidence that I showed you before of things being fulfilled should show you that this is one thing that they do want to fulfill, okay? And this goes into the scriptures, man. So it says a cashless future is 2 to 3 generations away. Experts predict, and this was written 2018, and it ain't 2 to 3 generations away. It's around the corner, man. All they're gonna do is release one of these sleeper agents, all right, and a false flag or whatever. Then you're gonna have it to where you're gonna, the retaliation to that false flag is gonna be the chipping, man. All right, and this was by Steven Spielberg, which is he's juiced in, so he's gonna be able to spill particular bits of the beans that they want him to spill to condition the people into being how they want them to be, okay. And another movie that goes into it a little bit is the movie Equilibrium, okay. That's one of the things that they want to fulfill. Now that that had a nigger as one of the main casts. This is a good movie. I like this movie, but that goes into the cashless society, all right, and the martial law and the the drug epidemic, where they got it to where everybody's hooked on drugs and emotionless and so on and so forth, man. And last but not least, if let's not forget, how many movies do we see the World War III, man? Okay, which is another thing that they want to push out there, because the World War III, okay, the World War III really is like one of the major events that's going to play out within the earth, man. That's going to be one of the major events that's going to play out within the world, and they're going to use the World War III as a means of consolidating, all right, their new world order. All right, here it is. They got power in different industries and influence in different industries, but to consolidate all of those ideas into one, they're going to use the World War III as a means of doing that. And in starting the World War III, wherewith the Lord's going to intervene with the World War III and crush all the people that are going to be fighting against the World War III and subsequently fighting against Yahweh Shai, he's going to what? He's going to set up a new world order for the Israelites, and everybody else is going to be underneath the Israelites. So this is the book of Obadiah, the first chapter, and the second verse. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small amongst the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee, that thou dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation in his heart, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" Okay, that's Esau's mindset. He thinks that he is a god. In fact, he might even say that. Does it say that? I'm sure it says it in here, but you get the point. Let's jump into the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse, dealing with the chip. Okay, Revelations 13 and 6. Revelations 13 and 16. Revelations 13 and 16. right? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads. And you can see that within, I believe, Equilibrium, they have it, and they might have it within the Minority Report, but they definitely have the cashless society, and that's what's coming to this world. Okay, and ultimately, World War III, the book of Joel, the book of Joel, I believe I want to be in the second chapter. And these other scriptures I could have gone. Let's go to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. Okay, Isaiah 13. And 4, it says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great noise, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms and nations gathered together. And the Lord of hosts mastereth up, which means to basically he's the one that influences them, to attend, to muster, to reckon, to punish, to appoint. I believe that's what it means. Mastereth up the host of battle. Okay, and that's what's happening. That's what's gonna happen out here. So with that, I'm gonna say, all praise unto Yahweh Shemel, outside Bashim Rakakadash, that bonus unto the apostles, a great millstone, and honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.